Hello,
Oh,
everybody. Welcome to Wild Chats. I am Ryan. That is Maria. We were having a fun conversation about Tyrannosaurus Rex arms before we led into this, so we're already kind of laughing about random stuff. Welcome to Wild Chats, where we like to have some fun conversations about animals. We maybe see some videos. We talk about some stories in the news. Share a little bit about our lives. Who knows what's going to come up? So if you love animals, great place for you. If you don't like animals, you might want to go find yourself another podcast. But thanks for visiting. Everybody else,
hey, you may have fun. You don't know. Maybe you start liking the animals. Who knows?
okay, let's do it that way. All right. So if you don't like
We
animals,
challenge you. If you don't like animals, we shall challenge you.
stick around. We might convert you. So basically, guys, what I do a lot of times, I just kind of finish it around the internet. I find stuff that is funny, makes me laugh. I find it interesting. So for whatever reason, I was in a sports mood. It's been a couple big sports days around where I live and in the world in general. So I decided that I was going to have some fun trying to find strange animal races and fun things like that from around the world. So you put in strange animal races in Google, and you're expecting to see what, Maria? What do you think you'd find?
I'm usually thinking of a cheetah or something really fast.
Cheetah
It's
race,
the
like
first thing
actual
that
two
came to
cheetahs.
my mind.
Okay. But if we were talking like animal versus animal kind of racing, same animals, we'll get into that fun question after. What two animals would be fun to see race? We'll do that one in a little bit. But if you were going to see what like random animal races, other than horses, obviously, which you would, which are common, what else?
Okay.
Okay.
Um, Animal races. Well, greyhound races now are abolished here in Florida since a couple of
Okay.
years ago. So
All
you
right.
will not see dog races anymore.
Gotcha. Would you wear one of
Um,
those stupid hats to a dog race, or is that just like a
I
horse
think that's only
racing thing?
horses. I never
Okay.
went to a dog race.
But
Yeah,
would
I
you
don't.
well, you would never go to a dog race in general, probably. So, okay.
No,
All right.
agility. I will go to an agility
Those
for
are
dog
fun.
agility. Those are really fun. But
Yeah,
this
they
is
really
not
are.
racing. Horse racing is where they wear those fancy, funky
Yeah,
hats.
for like the big guys, we love animals and we know a little bit about a lot of stuff, but not a lot of stuff about particular things. So don't take anything we say as gospel. And if we get things wrong, this is going to be really fun. We're kind of at the beginning phases of this podcast. Once we start doing some live streams, have an audience live streams. You like that?
Live stream.
No
Leave them
anymore.
for Halloween, please and thank you. Halloween only. We do live streams on
When we start
Halloween.
doing some live streams, we're going to have some people in the chat that'll be fun. We're going to be able to like go back and forth with information and stories. So I can't think of. I think it's Kentucky Derby that wear the funny hats for the horses. But all right,
Yes,
so
it sounds right.
consensus on that. Okay, so I was poking around looking for fun races, and this is one of the first ones I came across, which I always enjoy. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I did not prep well enough for this one. Let's see.
No,
That's
no.
okay.
Let's blame it on the system.
I'm
Blame it on
close.
the.
I'm close. I'm in.
So I wonder who will win this one. I see some weird heads there. I'm gonna pick up the guy in red just because the guy in white. That dude ain't even going. Look at him.
All right.
I love how he keeps freezing, but then he skips ahead really, really, really fast. So far we're winning. You didn't choose one.
I'm the one that picked the clip. All right, guys. We're clearly having technical difficulties here. We have tried to replay this again, so we're gonna see if this thing will run. For some reason, it's not. I'm
Let's see
just
who
trying,
runs faster.
I'm
The
trying to get
clip
the
or
turn.
ostriches.
The turn is my favorite part, and we can't even get to the turn. All right, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. This was a really fun video about ostriches racing. We were talking about strange animals, and the reason I picked it, honestly, let's see. The guy in white just cracks me up because he gets to the corner. Here we go. Look at this.
Oh, there it is.
Here we go. Watch this guy in white. He's behind. He tries to take the inside track.
Which he did from the beginning. Here I thought his ostrich was crazy, but he took it from the beginning.
So
Oh my guy in red is losing.
it keeps stop starting, but he's basically whipping the ostrich like a horse or something to try to get it to move. And then at a certain point, he just realizes his hand's not good enough, and it requires the hat. So he takes his he starts whipping the ostrich, and he the last one to finish.
I bet you that ostrich, that reminds me of a movie called The King of Persia, Prince of Persia, Prince of Persia. And they do a ostrich race, but one of the guys is like, he takes care of the ostriches and pampers them, and it's just so hilarious. So that race reminds me of, of that movie.
I just love the guy's like so far behind. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna whip this ostrich. That'll speed it up. That's gonna make the difference. And
Which
then,
I feel bad, by the way. I feel bad, but when they whip the animal, by the way, um, the whip is not meant to harm the animal. It's literally just meant to like, come on, keep going, keep going. It's not, especially with horses. It's really designed to like encouragement. It's not meant to hurt them. It's same thing with a lion. When the lion trainer has the whip, it's not meant to harm the animal. It's meant to create the noise and to kind of startle them into focusing. That's the whole point. And also because the whip looks like a snake, and that's a little scary for some animals whose natural instinct is to jump really fast, like in a race, away from the snake.
I think the other thing too that we don't really think about is like a lot of these animals have really thick skin and hides and fur. Like we don't really take into
Exactly.
like what would hurt us on our little like millimeter thick skin isn't going to do much by the time you get through the feathers of an ostrich. Granted, this guy's using his hand. I wish you could see the video. It was hilarious because the ostrich is lumbering, right? And it's just like bouncing him all over the place. And he's trying to hit the ostrich, but he actually, none of them make contact. He tries like 5 times.
I saw the glimpse. I saw the glimpse.
They all miss. So then he takes his hat off. Like that extra like 4 inches is gonna make the difference of him being able to get back. All the while he's barely made the turn, and the other guy's already won the race. Like,
So basically, also what I see is I didn't even win because the critter who won was the blue guy. So
yeah,
do not ask for predictions from me because they're not good. Now, I actually thought you were gonna show me when you were talking about showing an animal. I actually thought you were probably going to show me a camel's race, which is also popular in many
it's in the
savannah
yeah,
or desert
they
countries.
like to do it, the desert countries and stuff. I mean, they also have like camel beauty contests, and
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, they do. They like, do they take their animals seriously over there? They have no, I think it's a goat beauty contest, but there's like an animal beauty contest. I think they hold in Saudi Arabia every year. And then they do it also like in times with like it takes place at an animal auction. So like I guess if you win first prize in the beauty contest, like the value of your animal just went up. But yeah, they've got an interesting like relationship with animals in like Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. Like I've seen those like clips of like the people in the outfits in their like fancy cars, and they got like a pet lion or like a pet puma sitting in the passenger seat of their like $1 million vehicle, and you're like, that's gonna be great for the upholstery.
You know, that actually reminds me of we have a video about strange pets or weird pets, and I was doing a live feed. It's a video where my voice is for you guys. It's a video where my voice is the only thing that you see, and you'll see our pet hiding through the video. But anyway, in one of those chats, one of the guy was saying that he's from Saudi Arabia, and it was common for him in the past to see people with wild animals in their Bugattis and their fancy cars. Like he's like, yeah, it was normal. His uncle, cousin, somebody like that actually had a pet lion.
Yeah, and
I'm
I don't want to get into this because I know your thoughts on it, and we'll probably go another like 15 minutes on it. But I wonder if they declaw the poor animals before they allow them on the fancy leather. Maria's totally against this, guys. So we don't go on a 15-minute tangent. You can just look at her face, and I'm going to show another video.
Let's cut Maria's reaction before she says something.
There we go. We're going to allow Maria a lot of leeway, but I know how she feels about this particular subject. So we're going to go back to some fun videos. There we go. Hey. More fun animal races from around the world.
Back Maria. Oh my God.
Little water buffalo racing. Water buffalo racing.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
That looks more like an African nation.
Yeah, this is just gonna be one of those days, guys. Unfortunately.
Oh, I was enjoying the sound just because I was trying to figure it out. But again, that is actually pretty neat. I've never seen racing Brahma. I think those are Brahma.
I just
Um,
I love how when you're a guy and you need to watch something race, you just grab whatever's handy. We got
hey,
bowls and we got water. Boom, that's a race right there.
I love how they have it in water to make it even more fun. It's not just plain, smooth or anything. No, no, no. Let's make sure this is wet
Oh,
and
that
to
makes
make
it.
it.
I wish you could see it better, but they're like there's a stick in the middle, and
Let's
they're
do that.
standing on the split, and then so you've got to balance, you've got to turn. It
This
actually
is
makes it
teamwork.
pretty.
This is teamwork.
No, it is. It's really it's they're really fun to watch. Obviously it's big in Southeast Asia. I think that's where this takes place, and they do like official races. I was
Wow.
reading an article when I was preparing for this video, and they were talking about goat races in
Okay.
Tobago, like Trinidad and Tobago.
Uh-huh.
And apparently the villagers, they're after Easter, like that Monday,
Okay.
the rich people used to hold horse races.
Oh
So
wow.
the poor people, the day after, the Tuesday, they would hold their own goat races. As kind
That
of,
is
I don't
awesome.
know if it was just a little like, well, fine, whatever, you're rich, but we can have fun too. But it got so popular that it actually became an unofficial holiday. Like there's
No way.
Easter Tuesday, and now every year they hold these goat races, and it's like the largest in the world. But to the point where, and this is the part that got me, these goat races are now part of like a festival. It's the name of the city. Let me see if I can find it really quick. The Buko Goat Racing Festival. But the part that got me, it literally takes place in a $100 million stadium now. And it's like one of the biggest
Are you
tourist
serious?
events. This is one of the biggest tourist events in Tobago if you're there that time of year. So it went from like poor people racing goats just to kind of go whatever to the rich people racing horses to like the biggest tourist attraction in a $100 million facility.
That
So
is actually pretty neat because
so a
that
bunch
that
of
also
guys.
happens. That also happens with many other cultural things that become so popular, music and things like that. That they actually, because the popular people, not the richest, but the more, I'll call it popular in the sense of more people there, not because it's popular. Anyway, it becomes the more powerful force that drives that culture.
Yeah, I mean it's. I just think it's interesting the way things evolve. But yeah, a bunch of people that got together, and I'm gonna see if I can pull up the photo. But apparently, I think it was 2001. They had the foot and mouth disease going around with all the animals and the cattle and stuff. And I guess the UK had put a ban on moving animals around because they didn't want to spread the disease. Well, apparently there was a race and sports book that was losing out on all this money because no one had horse races to bet on. So they decided to hold their own races. They obviously couldn't do with horses.
Okay.
So what they
Or
decided,
cattle. That will actually be cow. The prion. It's a virus. It's a.
yeah, but I guess in order to be like, it was an emergency order. So they like kind of, until they could figure out what it really was or how it spread or what was all going on, they just said no animals move. Like
Yeah.
all animal transport stops. So this gambling site decided, okay, well, we're losing out on all this revenue. We got to figure something out. So they decided to start their own races.
Oh
Now,
God.
imagining you can't move animals around and like transport animals, what do you think they started for their races?
So if you cannot transport are we talking about a mammal, like a hairy creature, like a
Yes,
rabbit?
I will give you it is a mammal.
It is a mammal. Doesn't produce milk for humans, so it's not a cattle or a
I said
goat.
nothing about milk for humans, but
Well, I'm trying to eliminate it because the hoof and mouth.
okay.
I thought it was the. Are you telling me it's gonna be goats again?
I didn't say it did include milk for humans. I just said I didn't necessarily say it didn't include.
Because it'll be hilarious. Like, oh, by the way, they got really creative and they also have goat races.
You just think I'm the master of the tie-in this one today.
I don't know, man. I question everything nowadays.
Okay, okay. All right, so what they
It's not fish.
I'm gonna see if I can show this
Is
photo.
it chickens? Wouldn't it be fun if it was chickens?
But then you'd have
I
to.
mean,
Well, I guess if you train the chickens, you wouldn't have to transport them. Normally, if you're on a farm, you would have enough chickens around. So I guess chicken racing could be an
I
option.
was honestly, I was thinking bunnies. Like it would be really cute to see a bunny hopping race. That would be so adorable.
Right. Okay.
I know they
So
do it with mice, and I know they do it with other creatures.
okay. So what they decided, they wanted a little bit more of a controlled environment. It rains a lot in the UK, so they wanted it to be indoors, and they
Fish,
couldn't move animals around. So what they decided to do
cockroaches. Take
is
that
this.
back.
They did this.
Oh my god, that is too precious. That
Not
is
only
that
is
is.
it hamster races, but they attached wheels to cars. So
Oh
as they
my
spun the
gosh,
hamster wheel, the cars would go faster.
that's too adorable. I mean, seriously, that is too adorable. Like, I'll go for that.
The things people can think up when they've got nothing else to do with their time.
I tell you, the invention. Yeah, you get creative when you have to invent stuff. That is pretty adorable.
Okay, so it's screen share. All right. Let's go. Let's go
Okay,
back out.
okay, good because I haven't been able to figure it out how to get out of it.
You have to just X. Yes.
Oh, that is that was
Uh,
actually very adorable. I mean, I know
uh,
people come up with some crazy races, but that one is very creative and so easy to manage. You don't need an F1 team and a fancy car.
Talk about
I
low
mean, when I
budget.
talk about races, when you begin races, you think of horses or humans, but never have I ever thought of mixing the horsepower in a tiny
To have some
mouse
hamster
or
power.
mouse
I
power,
mean, you don't go around those wheels. Come
hamster
on.
power. Yeah, yeah. But just making it into a car,
That's the part.
like an
Yeah.
F1 race car.
And you got to have like bearings so that way when the wheel turns, it like the whole
We'll call
engineering
that
of
one
that.
We'll call that one Hamilton. I was gonna say George Hamilton, but I meant Hamilton as in an F1 race driver.
I wonder if they were like sitting around going, what could we have raced and what could we do to make it interesting that we don't have to engineer too much, but it still looks cool.
I think that is awesome. Like it would be fun to see the evolution of that game and like seeing if they can make it in such a way that they could take the curves even better. I mean, I could just
I'm
like
assuming it's straight,
but I
but
could just imagine like do it in an angle and maybe do like a BMX, like they have to jump and you know like they're really. I mean, those critters are amazingly strong, and they are they do move. So it would be really fun to actually get into the action and just make
and
it.
you'd have it on like a tilt. It's kind of like the virtual reality stuff that you see in the movies. What was that? Ready Player One, where they
Yes,
like
yes,
throw the goggles and
yes.
they had the full treadmill and they had all the like you could actually like physically turn within the vehicle. Like the engineering team on the gambling site probably wasn't advanced enough to come up with anything more than hamster wheel on little road cars.
No, but I think actually that is extremely adorable.
I thought
Like that
so
one
too.
wins 5 points of five. That wins five on all the races you have shown me, just because of the story behind it as well. And that also shows how we humans are so incredibly creative and how even despite harder times, we still want to have fun or
Oh
at
yeah.
least, create something that will make it very interesting. And how cool is that?
I just don't know if that's something that I would wager on. That was my only thing, but um, so my last fun story that I came across doing it. This is one of more of the cute category. I was going to throw it into our next podcast we were going to do of like adorable animals coming up. But um, so I'm just going to read this off because I don't want to miss a part of the story because I thought it was adorable. But in 2014, a stray dog named Arthur followed a Swedish racing team through the Amazonian jungle and rivers to complete a 688-kilometer race. Just because one of them had given him a meatball during one of the earlier heats.
I actually have heard of many stories of dogs even going through, I think it was the Mongolian desert or something like that. And it was a tiny dog and he went through with them, like the race, this particular race that I'm talking about, not the one in the Amazon that you were talking about. This one was somewhere and they had to sleep. Well, if it's 600, I mean, this is a very long race. And the dog even slept with them.
Yeah. But now hold on.
The power of meatball.
I want to rewind a second though. Is this cute, adorable, or actually sad, pathetic that a dog got one meatball and was willing to follow people for 688 kilometers? I feel like this dog was hungry.
He had nothing to lose. I mean, the Amazon is known for anacondas, and people think, oh, the Amazon is filled with piranhas. Well, piranhas only live in slow-moving water.
Yeah.
They're not racing for the attack. If we're going to talk about animals racing, they're not racing for the attack. They're actually in a slow-moving water, and yes, they do eat meat, but the more scary animal that you'll find in the Amazon. In fact, when I went to the Amazon, we went to an island, and the guy was saying we were looking at one of the larger flowers in the world that is like a like a lotus.
Okay.
Victoria regia is the name of the flower. Just imagine a lotus, but you can sleep on top of the leaves so that you have a dimension of the size. Anyway, so we were walking around and he's like, so there must be be careful when you get into the water, because if there's an anaconda, the last thing you will see will be the face of the anaconda. Not even the aggressive caimans or the imported African Cape buffaloes. There are some imported African Cape buffaloes, which are extremely dangerous animals. They run in packs. They are not afraid of anything. They're actually afraid of the anaconda. Like, that's how scary that is.
See, but at that point in the story, I would have been like, if I see an anaconda, it will be the last thing. Tell you what, sir, I'm going to go ahead and stay in this boat and on that land. And if I see anything in the water swimming up to this boat, we're going to paddle over to that land really fast. You want to talk about races?
You will not shoot it away?
There's like animal races where animals race, and then there's me racing from an anaconda coming after my boat in the Amazon.
Anaconda? Yes. Who will run faster, you or a snake?
Oh, I guarantee you I'll run faster, but he might swim faster.
You will be surprised. Actually, well, snakes in general, I'm generalizing, they can actually move faster than a runner. They really
but he'd be slithering. Like, you gotta have feet to run, I think, by definition. Like, I'm gonna beat him no matter what because he can't run.
Slither.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to play the technicalities just so I feel like a winner. No matter what race I have in the anaconda, Ryan wins.
I'll climb a tree. I don't
Every
care.
Time.
I'll climb through a alligator. You don't care. You're like, I'm out of here.
There's nothing sadder than that moment where you're just like out there on some safari preserve and you're like, giraffe. That bastard's slow. I'll race him, and holy crap, he just kicked my butt. Giraffes are fast.
Awesome. That is awesome. Animals are just incredible, honestly.
Unexpectedly fast animals out there. So what fun stuff do you have for us today, Maria?
Actually, when we were doing this video, I took the complete opposite view of animal racing, because what I was thinking about is about the race against time, or like the ones who will win a race. So what I actually chose, and I didn't choose a video because I don't know what happened with me there, but I got some information that I love about crabs. I know crabs don't sound like exciting or anything like that, but the horseshoe crab the horseshoe crab has won the race when it comes to living longer. I mean, those things have been before the dinosaurs, and actually, there is an entire era called the Cretaceous era, which is based on crabs and their evolution
Oh, I didn't
for
realize that.
400
Yeah, I didn't put those
million.
two together.
Neither did I. Neither did I. I
Put those
didn't
two
know
things together.
until then. But it has been the horseshoe crab is actually closely related to a spider than a crab, which is extremely peculiar. So when I did my research, I was more like, what angle do I want to take? Not necessarily the fastest or the slimmest or the strongest, but how about the biggest, fastest, best, strongest survivor? So I chose the horseshoe crab as the winner of my race when it came to my research.
Now, did you've seen the not quite a race, but those little buggers move. Have you seen the videos of the I forget what island it is, but all the red crabs and they built the bridges for them to go up over the roads?
They kind of like invade
Yeah,
the entire island for
and
a
because they
day.
migrate from one area to the other, they tried to build them like these bridges, but there's so many of them that they can't all use the bridges, so you still end up with like half of them going across the road. But that's like
Yes.
yeah, I always thought I saw that picture somewhere, and I'm like, that is really cool. Like you
Mhm.
running at the crabs, and they like come out of the sand, and then they run to the beach. But it would be interesting to be on an island and actually see this like mass migration of all these little red crabs. Like, and they stop everything. Like traffic stops. Like there's a season, I guess, or like a week. They don't like officially close the roads, but it's such the islanders are so respectful and appreciative and stuff of the animals that there's kind of an understood moratorium on using the roads while they're kind of doing what they've got to do for that period
I
of
love
time.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that
I
was
wish
really
well, I wish there was a way that we humans could work better with animals, because there are many animals that lay eggs, like turtles. They always lay eggs in a certain area. So when that area gets disturbed, there have actually been cases of turtles who lay their eggs in the cement, because that's where they've always done it. And it's just so weird how the race for survival is so strong within them. And they even say, if you see a turtle crossing the road, don't take it away and move it further, because that animal lives usually within a 1 kilometer radius.
yeah.
So if you see it, just literally take it across the street and let
Yeah.
them be, because they will figure their way around. And actually, I don't know how true this is or not, but right now it's turtle season in Florida. And so people ask, don't move the animal away, because they will wander forever and ever until they get to where they call home, which is the
Yeah.
pond next door for them. So it is very, very interesting, that race for survival and that adaptation in order to be, you know, to achieve their goals of reproduction. It's pretty cool.
I think that yeah, I mean that's one of the so as you guys get to know Maria, this is just part of Maria. She loves animals so much that if you ever want to see her in this like massive moral or mental quandary, put two animals together where one is supposed to eat the other one, and she doesn't know what to do because she wants to save one, but she knows the other one needs to eat.
You can see I'm very stressed out.
So she pull out her. But I think it's a good example of like sometimes we want to help or save an animal, but what we're doing if we don't really understand the migration patterns of a turtle or pick any animal, we might not actually be helping
I
when we
know.
and it's the motivation that really matters. But sometimes you're right. It's better to just let it be. I was watch. Sometimes you just watch these videos of yeah, it's an animal crossing the road, and people are pretty kind. I've seen videos where people just literally stop on the road and let that animal cross. But then when that
Mhm.
animal is something like a turtle or something slow, it's like human kindness versus human patience has a battle
Yeah,
with
but I have seen videos of people stopping the highway for ducklings to cross with their
yeah,
mamas. I mean,
because
they're
they cross pretty
so
fast and
beautiful.
they're adorable. So
And the thing is, snapping turtles and things like that, they have a very long neck. So picking one up could be extremely dangerous if you don't know how to pick them up. They're
true.
gonna pee on you, and they may snap at you. So you actually have to be careful. And I have a girlfriend who carries always has a snow shovel, because she knows with a snow shovel she can pick anything up and just move it, so she doesn't have to touch it, stress it out, and still be helpful to the animal.
And how does this person look trucking around a snow shovel in Florida to help animals? That's got to look funny as heck.
She's from Michigan. It's okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's okay there. But I did have a quandary about a year or so ago, because that was an issue that was happening. Is
Okay.
I needed to help move a turtle, and I only had the doggy bags for my dog to go pick up
Okay.
her number two choices. And I'm like, okay, this is not gonna be fun, because you gotta be careful when you touch an animal. You don't know if they have
Hmm.
E. coli, there have been cases of people getting infected. So you actually have to be careful.
Yeah,
But
for
anyway,
sure.
so I got my two bags of doggy bags, because I always keep them in the car for these situations or whatever else. And so I was gonna grab the turtle, and this gentleman who clearly worked with tools and everything, he's like, ma'am, I'll move her for you. Don't worry. And he grabbed his shovel and literally picked up the big turtle and just moved
Uh-huh.
it to the. I was so grateful. So grateful. One less thing to worry
Awesome.
about. And going back to the subject of helping animals, we as humans want to help, like you said, so much. We're gonna help so much, but the problem is fledglings, like baby birds. They're learning to fly. They're almost done. The mama and the dad, the parents are there helping. It's just that he's learning to fly, but many times we want to take him home because we see them alone. We see them unable to fly. They're about 2 3 days away from achieving their goal. So
Hmm.
the nature center, I remember the reason I say this example is it happened to me. I did it. I was the one who called the nature center, picking up the bird, and got the story from them. Like, just let them be, put them in a safe spot. Like, if it's on the tree and you can reach out, just put it on a safe spot, so no cats or coons or whatever.
Don't set it next to a cat. Okay, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It will be kind of nice. But yes, just to help the animal survive. That's all you have to do. So sometimes staying away is actually the best way.
It's just so hard to know which one to do.
I have that problem all the time. Do I want to take frogs out of the pool or not? Will they be okay if they stayed? Would I be dehydrating them? Well, actually, the answer is yeah, take them out, because they will perish from exhaustion trying to get out of the pool. So I had to do my research on that one too, because I'm like,
But you took
how
the
much
time and cared. Yeah, but you cared enough to look it up and figure it out.
exactly. And I think that's the fun is now there is research for everything. So any question you have, just research and make sure there is a good source. Because also there are sources, people who have the best intention but actually don't have a clue. So a good source is always a good way to go. Mhm. So
All
anyway, that
right.
was the race for survival. That was my angle. The race to help was kind of the angle. And yeah, so it's kind of fun once we start learning. Yeah, we are gonna make mistakes, and unfortunately, there will be times where we cannot help everything or everyone. But if you see a worm on the street, I mean, just pick a stick and throw it back in the grass. It takes no time and it helps them. Plus, birds don't like dehydrated worms anyway. I'm gonna say
Humans do if
that.
you've been to certain parts of Southeast Asia, though. So,
Yeah, that would be an interesting video doing critters people eat. That would be a fun one. Hmm. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up to conclude, and I want to thank you all for watching this amazing video that we put together for you. If you're ever interested on seeing something else near around this topic, we do have some videos on our other channels about animal evolution and adaptation, as that was the angle I chose, the race for survival, basically. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed all the issues we had with our videos freezing up and stuff like that. It's just part of the fun. And honestly, as
yeah.
we create a community, the whole point is to make it even more exciting and share with you and each and every one of you to give us your stories and your ideas so that we can make it even more fun.
Thank you guys and have a fantastic day. We will see you next time.
See ya.